All right. Hello, everybody. We are here. We are welcoming you tonight to our Livestream 10. This is going to be a pretty special live stream, and we're very, very glad to be here with you all. Joining me, of course, is my lovely co-host, Erin Heasley, who is also my wife and who played Molly in the Shift short film. Hello, Andrea. Hello, Sabrina. Welcome. So glad to see you both here. Hi, Deborah. And hello, Kara. Am I missing anybody?
Noah. Hi, Noah.
Hello, Noah. Good to see you too. And it looks like Jenna just joined us as well. So happy to see everybody.
Ooh, someone's angry.
Somebody's angry.
Somebody sent us an angry emoji.
Oh no. What did we do?
I don't know.
I don't think,
Maybe it's me.
Oh, maybe they don't like you. Because every time I'm on here, nobody sends me any angry faces ever.
Rude.
So, yeah. But it's just you.
Look, now we're getting hearts.
Oh, now we're getting... Yeah, people are feeling bad. It's sympathy hearts.
Oh, no, look, there's another angry one.
No, there's another angry face. We can't get away from them.
Are the McEwens here?
I don't know. We have some friends, the McEwens. They always, no matter what we post on Facebook, no matter how happy or how cute, they always give us angry faces.
It's kind of our thing.
It's kind of a joke. So, but it's a joke between us and the McEwens. You can't do that to us. We'll get offended. Anyway, welcome to tonight's live stream. Hello, Jane, and hello, Suzanne. It's good to see everybody. This is going to be a really exciting live stream. We've got some really, really cool stuff in store for you tonight. First of all, we are going to have a huge script reveal. For the first time ever, we're going to reveal something from the feature film. We're actually going to reveal an entire scene. We got some actors together, and they went and they read through a whole scene for us. One of them you're going to recognize, of course, Greg Tharp, who played Kevin in the Shift short film. He's back tonight. He's going to reprise his role of Kevin for a scene that you have never seen or heard before. Very, very excited to share that with you. We are also, and this is maybe more for me than it is for any of you, we are going to be treated by a special live, it wasn't going to be live, but it's going to be live now, a live musical performance from Dan Haseltine, our co-composer, one of our co-composers on The Shift, also a co-composer of The Chosen, and of course Dan is the lead singer and songwriter for Jars of Clay, and he's going to perform a song that is very, very special, that is actually in the script for The Shift, although we still don't know if we're actually going to get it, but he's going to perform that song tonight, and he's going to talk to us about it. It is a very, very special thing that he's doing for us tonight, so that is going to happen, but that's not it. The third thing we're doing tonight is there is a video that I made last week, a very special video that is...
that almost got you arrested.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Not arrested, but a cop stopped me. That's how the video got ended, is that a cop actually stopped me and made me get in my car. But we'll tell that story later. But yeah, it's a video that's that I was reluctant to make. It's pretty emotional, kind of raw stuff, but I think it's important, and it's stuff I've talked about before, but I put it all on tape. I went to a very special location to record this video, and after this stream is over, we're going to release that video onto Facebook for people to share with their friends, because I think it talks about The Shift in a completely different way, about what we're doing with it and why it's important, and what it's all about. But we'll get to all that. So that's what's coming up. Tonight is jam-packed full of stuff. We're going to get to all that stuff just as quickly as we possibly can. Let's see. We want to celebrate a little bit. We just hit a pretty significant milestone. We just got to 6,000 page likes.
Woo-hoo! It won't stay in my ear.
I know, it never stays in your ear. I think that's in the wrong ear.
It
that's
doesn't
part
matter.
Of it.
I put them in both ears. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's the only thing we have right now. We just got to 6,000 page likes on Facebook. 6,000, and I think we're actually above that now. I think we're closer to like 6,200. Our kids are trying to come in our room. That's going to be a thing tonight that we're all going to have to deal with together.
It is.
Let's see who else is here. Hi, Roxy. Good to see you. Rebecca, hello. Margaret, hello.
Jane is here.
And Jane is here. We said hello to Jane earlier.
She said we're cute, so she gets to hear it twice.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice. You know, that's not something you get told a lot 20 years into marriage.
No, it's true.
People don't call you cute anymore.
No, they don't. They don't care. They're over you.
Let's see. We have some investments already tonight. That is fantastic. Cool. Let's check these out. One of the things we're doing tonight, if you invest with us, we are absolutely going to shout you out unless you tell us not to. Let's see. In the last day, we've Joel in Minnesota hit us with a $100 partnership.
Thanks, Joel.
Thank you, Joel. That is awesome. Ben in Tennessee came in with a $200 partnership. Thomas in Utah with a $100 investment. Leno in New York with a $1,000 investment.
Do you think
Thank
that's
you,
Jay Leno?
It's definitely Jay Leno. I don't know who else that could be. Leanne in California with a $500 investment. Thank you, Leanne. And Lou in Oklahoma with a $250 investment.
So cool, all over the country.
Thank you. I know, everywhere, literally everywhere. And Evelyn in West Virginia with a $250 investment. And just right now, Wesley in California with a $100 investment. Thank you all so much for partnering with us. We are going to talk a little bit later about what we're trying to do tonight. Actually, no, we're going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about that right now. So tonight,
Do it.
Tonight we are announcing that by the end of this week, we are going to hit, well, this is our goal. Our goal to hit is $200,000 of investment. Now that's a lot. That's essentially double what we've currently have. But here's the thing. We're in the last 10 days of this campaign. We are now in a race to the finish. And it is time to kick this thing into gear. We have some really exciting things coming up. Some more live streams. We're going all the way to the end with this thing. But for this week, before we head into those last 3 days, our goal is to hit $200,000 in investment. Can we get there? That's up to 2 people, as far as I can see. It's up to the Lord, obviously, and it's up to you.
That's more than 2.
That's more than 2. Well, you in the collective sense is 1 person, maybe?
I don't know.
We're not a hive mind, so I'm totally wrong on my math, but it doesn't matter. The point is that we see that we are far from the goal, but we see the possibility to still get to the end. We know that at the end, that's when people say, oh my gosh, I got to get there. Somebody just launched a Vince Vaughn gif at us. Sabrina did that.
With cake.
With cake, just
Sabrina.
Eating lots of cake.
I think she's replying to Andrea, but still.
Oh, but still, I'll take a Vince Vaughn gif anytime we can get one.
Absolutely. Oh, Andrea said double it. That's why she's celebrating.
Double it. Hey, I like the enthusiasm. I'll double it once we get to 200, and then we'll go to 400. Why not?
We'll just go crazy.
We'll just go crazy. In fact, just on topic here's a goal. Here's a question. How realistic do you think it will be to get to 1 million, and what needs to happen to get there? And how is Raising for the Chosen in comparison to this?
Those are 3 excellent questions.
Those are 3 excellent questions. So let's take them one at a time. How realistic do you think it will be to get to 1 million, and what needs to happen to get there? How realistic is it to get to 1 million? I think it's completely realistic. I honestly do. Now, if it doesn't happen, then to me, I'm not even really shaken by that, because I believe that this film will get made one way or the other. The question is whether you all are going to be on board with it. Is it realistic to get to 1 million? Yes, it's realistic. I think, as things build to the end, people that have been thinking like a month ago, oh, I definitely want to invest in that. I'll get to that. Those people, which I think is a decent amount of people, will come in and partner with us. I think there are people in their minds that are already partnered with us. They just haven't pulled the trigger yet. And so we hope and pray that will happen. As far as The Chosen goes, it's true. They made most of their money at the very, very end. Most of the investments came in at the very, very end. So we know that there's a fever that can kind of happen as you get to the end.
It's not stressful at all.
It's not. No, it's for us. It's not stress. No, of course, it's totally stressful. It's totally stressful. But the thing is that really though it's about whether or not this movie gets made. We talk about money, and I really hate talking about money. I genuinely do. Mm-hmm. But the only reason that we talk about the money is because we have an end goal in mind. The end goal is not $1 million. The end goal is this movie. This movie that, to quote Matt Nelson from our last live stream, or the one before that, I don't remember when that was, he talked about how there is a movement happening. Things are changing. That when we look back on this time, we'll see things like The Chosen and The Shift, this is Matt's words, not mine, as the beginning of a change in Christian media, a change towards something different and something better. Why is this not playing anymore? That's weird.
I don't know.
So we see this as something that is significant. We know that a lot of you see it as significant. We have 289 or some odd investors right now. Those are people who see this as something they want to be a part of, that don't want to be left out of this movement that's happening. This is your chance to be in at the beginning and say, I was there. I'm partners with that. I was in that.
I think there's an important distinction between a donation and an investment. And,
absolutely.
And I think you can't say that enough. It feels like a donation because the end product is a ways away, but it is an investment where y'all are going to get it all back, which is exciting.
Yeah. Well, look, they'll get it all back if the film makes money.
True.
But we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't think that the film would make money. So that's where we're putting our faith. We're putting our faith in people who are seeing this not just an investment of their money, but an investment of their time and an investment in their future and what they want to see in the future, the kinds of films and the kinds of things they want to see made. We're getting a million hearts right now. Love seeing that. The hearts keep us going.
And the angry faces make us laugh.
Angry faces make us laugh. So it's all
emoji at your will.
So it's all fair. So I think we answered those questions pretty well. You guys can disagree with us or not. So we've made great progress based on our growth, and we're projecting some exponential growth as we approach the deadline. That's really what we're seeing. We would love your help. We would love you to come in and be part of this with us. That's what it's all about. It's about doing this together. Even if you're only able to invest $100, right, the minimum, if that's all you can do, that's totally fine. We would quickly reach our maximum goal if just a few hundred people decided to invest $100 or $200. Like, it would happen very quickly. So if you're thinking, my $100 isn't really going to make that much difference, it's not going to put that much of a dent, that's not true. It actually can put a dent. And the thing is that the more people that invest, the higher that number of investors goes up, the more other people are encouraged to come in with what they've got. As Dallas likes to say, they're loaves and fishes.
When The Chosen came out, that's all we could do was 100.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. Okay, we're just going to out ourselves.
I'm just going to do it. Sorry, Dallas.
When The Chosen came out, we were in a not financially great place. Genuinely, like one of the worst of our lives. I've talked about some of our financial struggles, and so the most we could do was $100. That was all we did.
And by the most we could do, like that was
a serious discussion.
That was a big investment.
That was a big investment
for us.
It was. We're getting a Jennifer Aniston gift.
True.
Hopefully that's a positive thing.
She's replying to Noah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
I've learned to not pay attention to Noah on these.
Noah! I'm so sorry.
He tries to trip us up. I let the moderator
I'll pay attention to you, Noah.
Handle Noah questions. No, we love Noah. I love Noah. Noah and I talk all the time. Okay, let's see what else. So that's our long-term goal, is the 200 long-term. I'm talking about the end of this week. $200,000. What about the short term? So here's an ambitious short-term goal. Can we hit $120,000 tonight? Is that possible?
Yes.
I say yes.
I say yes.
I think when you guys see what we have tonight, and for those of you just joining us, we've got a live script read coming. We've got a live performance coming. Not a live script read. It's a recorded script read, but it's a script read. You're going to see into the feature film for the first time a new scene that you've never seen before, featuring characters that you know. We're going to have a live performance from Dan Haseltine, our co-composer and the lead singer-songwriter of Jars of Clay. He gave me a preview earlier.
Yeah, I heard the warm-up, and it was something.
Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. I cannot wait for you guys to see this. And we're also debuting a special video that I recorded at a very special place, telling a story that some of you have heard before, but that really speaks to the themes of the shift, and it's something you're going to be able to share on Facebook later. That's what's coming up.
There's an investment.
Oh, Rebecca in Tennessee just invested for $100. Welcome, Rebecca, and thank you for partnering with us. We appreciate that so much. We are already $200 closer to our $120,000 goal, just from investments that have happened in the few minutes that we've been on with you. Okay. One other thing, though. We do get people who are saying, I can't really invest. I don't even have $100.
Been there, too.
We've been there, too. Here's the thing. That's great, though. But what you're telling me, though, is that you wish that you could do something. And the fact is that there is something that you can do. Even if you can't invest, you can still subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Shift Film. You can share the Shift Film YouTube link with your friends. You can like us on Facebook, and you can comment. Watch it on VidAngel to help us rise in the popularity ranks. Last time I looked, The Shift was the number 6th most popular title on VidAngel today. That's pretty cool. We haven't been at that high, I don't know, ever. So the people are watching The Shift on VidAngel, which is fantastic. And you can also comment and like on our posts. Comments with a lot of words especially tend to do really well. So there's lots of ways that you can support the shift, even if you can't do it financially. For free. In fact, something that you can do right now, because we're about to do this table read here in just a minute, something you can do right now is share this stream. Share this stream with your friends. Share this stream on groups that you belong to, particularly any faith or movie groups. Share this stream. Let people know what it is that we're doing tonight. Let them come and see. Dan Haseltine is coming up soon. They're not going to want to miss that. Your friends are going to want to see this. And I lost my train of thought. That happens live, and there's nothing you can do.
Oh, welcome to my home.
Yeah, welcome to your home. I know, I do it all the time. Please do not, however, share this stream in the Chosen fan club. They don't like it. We are friends with the Chosen people. Some of the Chosen people are working on this film, such as Dallas Jenkins, who is our executive producer. And the last thing I want to do is begin my working relationship with Dallas Jenkins by ticking him off. Oh, crud.
I think, are we
I don't know if we're live or not.
I think we are. Yes.
Okay, yes. Okay. All right. We're live again. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. I don't know what happened on our end. Something happened with the internet. I'm going to guess it's the kids that screwed us all up.
In the meantime, my mother's sending me pictures of us on her TV.
Oh, well. Well, good. All right. We lost like 20 people.
Aww.
And right when it's getting good, right when we're about to show you the table read, let's pray. Everybody, if you're on this, if you have a little bit of some prayers extra for us to pray that we do not lose you all again, that would be great. We hate losing you.
Look, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Okay, we're back. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go in and we're going to show you a scene from the feature film. You guys have never seen anything like this. We've never revealed that this scene is even happening. But just to set it up a little bit, this is from the beginning of the film. It is prior to what you've seen in the short film. So that in that way, this isn't a huge spoiler. You're not going to be spoiled on what happens to Kevin after he leaves the diner. But this is going to set up very well what the shift is really about. And to me, what it really is about is the story of Kevin and Molly. And we're going to watch that right now. Here we go. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Okay, here we are with Nicole and Greg. Nicole and Greg are two actors here in Fresno, friends of mine, and they have agreed to read part of the script of The Shift that you have never heard before. And very, very grateful to them for coming. Nicole will be playing the part of Molly tonight, and of course Nicole is a very accomplished actress here in Fresno, and we have Greg who will be playing the part of Kevin, and Greg rather, you recognize as Kevin from the Shift short film. So we're very grateful to have you both here. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to be reading a scene that happens very, very early in the film. It's not the very beginning of the film, but it's close to the beginning of the film, and this is where Kevin and Molly meet. And it's an extremely important scene because you really get the sense from this scene, I think, of what their story is, that there is a love story at the heart of The Shift, and you don't necessarily get that idea from the short film. And of course, we want to remember too that this is a script reading. These actors are amazing, but they have not they're not together. Obviously, they're in different places. And this is a reading. So this isn't a lot of the fancy stuff that we're going to do in the movie. We're not able to do right now, but they're very good actors, and you're going to get a good sense of what the scene is like. So, all right, you guys ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
Ready.
All right, here we go. Let me scroll up to the beginning. And interior bar, hotel. Let's try that again. Interior, hotel bar, night. A glass is filled with beer on tap. It slides over to Kevin, sitting at the bar. He is withdrawn into himself, ignoring the drink in favor of the gold sobriety coin he spins and fiddles with his fingers. The bartender gives Kevin a sideways glance and shakes his head. The TV above the bar plays the news of the just begun housing crisis. Kevin is startled by a burst of laughter from a group of girlfriends at a table behind him. The sobriety coin drops and rolls away, disappearing over the edge of the bar. The glass of beer stares at Kevin. He tries to resist, but it's no use. Why shouldn't he drink? Today, he needs it. He grabs the glass and brings it to his lips.
Well, there's the saddest, most pathetic man I've ever seen.
Kevin, stopped cold, turns and looks to see the most self-possessed, beautiful woman he's ever laid eyes on.
I'm sorry, what?
You just look so sad sitting here like this.
This is a hotel bar. I'm alone. How am I supposed to look?
No, it's fine. I happen to like sad men.
Oh, really? Well, no, that's pathetic.
Your flirting game leaves a lot to be desired, my friend.
Kevin smiles. She's funny.
You came up to me.
Only because they dared me to.
Molly glances back at her group of girlfriends seated at a table. They're trying to contain their laughter and failing miserably. One of them snaps a pic with her phone. Kevin realizes he's still holding his drink and puts it down. He's intrigued.
So what's the dare?
To talk to you. Find out what your deal is so you become interested and ask me out. They say I'm overcommitted.
To what?
Work. I'm finishing up my PhD in psychology. Watch out. I read people pretty well.
Oh, what'd you read on me? I mean, besides the whole sad thing.
Not sure yet. It's actually quite the dangerous dare now that I think about it.
How so?
You could be a serial killer trapping women with your lonely, tortured soul routine.
That's a leap.
And are you like a bad serial killer or a heroic one?
Wait, there's heroic serial killers?
Of course there are. Think about it. What do serial killers do, really? They give in to all their black thoughts until they commit horrible, horrible crimes. We're all capable of that, right?
Yeah, there's a part of me that wants to kick puppies, like, all the time.
So what if there are people out there who have these dark impulses constantly and they choose to fight them every day?
Huh. Some do and some don't.
The ones that don't, serial killers. But the ones that do...
Well, they'd be heroes. I mean, they'd have to be.
But no one would ever know.
No, be suffering silently. I mean, for our sakes.
Heroic serial killers.
Huh. You may have a point. Huh.
So
what? Am I a serial killer? I mean, tell me.
yeah, what's your deal?
See that?
Kevin points up at the TV news reporting on the firing of all Bear Stearns employees today.
That's me.
Ouch. Fair though, right? You hedge fund types. Gotta admit you had it coming.
Yeah.
Kevin looks forlorn. Molly is about to say something to back off the nerve she clearly struck, but Kevin shakes it off before she can.
I'll buy you a drink.
Oh, I don't drink. Sharon, though? She's a lush.
Molly waves back to her friends. They give her a confused look that says she's been talking to the sad man for way too long, but one of them, definitely Sharon, raises her cocktail in drunk acknowledgement.
Pass.
I just don't know if I'm ready for this.
Kevin.
Molly. Hi.
The way Molly says Kevin's name is the sound of someone settling into the warmest, fuzziest sweater made just for them. It's at this moment he knows he's completely smitten.
Where's this going, Kevin? Are we up for this? I didn't come over here honestly expecting a date, but I feel like that's where this is heading.
Maybe I do find you attractive, oddly enough.
Backhanded, but fair. So, the idea is we go out, we have fun together, and then what? Maybe we kiss?
Hopefully.
Sure, I can get behind that. Okay, so 5th date.
Whoa, 5th date?
Yes, try to keep up. After the 5th date, we're starting to be a part of each other's lives. Now it's a real thing. You're introducing me to your friends. We're shopping together for dinner, and I'm taking you to my church. But do you even go to church? Do you even go?
I guess I do now.
You're so sweet. Gross. And because you're so sweet, you do something crazy to show your love, and I'm crying, and my friends are happy for me, and we, the two of us, we're just the best.
Sounds like a huge commitment.
The biggest. Does that scare you?
Yes. Yeah.
Me too. This is what I've been trying to tell my friends. Having another person in your life is just so much, and I have enough going on right now, and then there's the bad thing that happens.
What's the bad thing?
I have no idea, but it will happen. Life will happen and we'll be tested. It's inevitable. And when two people come together...
It just means that they have that much more to lose.
Exactly. Can we weather a storm together, Kevin? Are we capable of that? Oh, sure, I'm fabulous and you're sweet, so I'll try to be there for you and you'll do your best to comfort me. But what if we can't be that for each other? What if this bad thing that's going to happen, what if the bad thing tears us apart? Now, does that sound like something either of us wants to endure?
If you had asked me this a few hours ago, I'd have told you no. But the worst thing, literally the worst thing that ever happened to me just happened. I lost my job. And now I'm here with you. And it doesn't seem that bad anymore.
Molly is visibly struck by Kevin's vulnerability.
See, Kevin, here's the thing. I'm really busy. I don't have time for all that, especially with the sad, fired hedge fund bro. So while I appreciate you being a good listener and all, I think you can see this is a bad idea.
Okay. So can I buy you a drink?
I told you, I don't drink.
Yeah, me either. You know, I heard there was this new tea place nearby. It's pretty non-committal and chill. Do you drink tea?
I would love some tea.
And that was it. Great job, guys. That was awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today and showing that off. You guys know what are you saying?
Off so I just was like, good. That was good. But yeah, of course it was. Dang it.
No, I mean, you guys did a great job. I really appreciate it. No, thank you so much for doing this. Seriously, I've taken some time out of your day, and I very much appreciate it. Did you have fun?
Great. Yeah, I love coming together, acting with you guys. Nicole, it was good being with you again, and Brock, anytime.
Appreciate it. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Are we kicked off again?
Crud. No, I hit the mic. Nobody could hear anything we were saying.
Oh.
Again, that always happens. I'm so sorry, everyone.
He's better at directing, I promise.
I'm much better at directing than pushing buttons. Pushing buttons, for some reason, seems to be a very difficult thing for me. So anyway, okay. So what we were saying, we do it again? We should do it all over again. Okay, so Erin.
Yes.
That was your first time seeing that.
It was beautiful.
Because you won't read the script.
Correct.
Yes, because nobody reads scripts. This is what I keep saying.
And because I have jobs and children
and I am saying priorities.
And life.
Priorities.
Okay.
But so that was your first time getting you've never seen that. You didn't know what was coming.
No, I did not.
What did you think?
I loved their banter. I thought it was so sweet. I thought it was really sweet.
Did it seem familiar?
It did. We don't usually talk about alcohol, but the banter felt the same.
Yes, that is true. No, let's see. I don't know. What does everybody else think? Greg is good.
Great. Isn't Greg the sweetest?
Greg did a great job. So did Nicole, my friend Nicole, who played Molly. I thought she did an awesome job. So fun. I would love some tea. Tears. Oh, that's great.
We should have tea right now.
We should have tea. Why aren't we drinking tea?
Because you didn't.
Because I didn't prepare you.
Because you didn't prepare.
Got a negative comment. We're just gonna blow right past that. I don't want to repeat that.
People are now scrolling.
You're on
to
mute.
Try to find it.
Yeah, we know we were on mute.
It.
We fixed it. Okay, we'll read all that. We'll read all that later.
No more button pushing for Brock.
Okay. We got a comment from Paula Sue on YouTube. She says, you need a good PA. Hint, hint. Yeah, I know. I'm terrible at button pushing. Yeah. I'm going to get better at it. But yeah, what did everybody think? What did you think of the scene? That was your first real look at the Shift feature film. Molly is such a tiny character. We don't even give you a close-up in the short film.
No, I'm blurred, which I tried to not take that personally.
It was not a personal. I enjoy your looks. I have no issue.
That's good to know.
Yes, it's a weird way to phrase that. No, but so that's your first look at the Shift feature film. It sets up who Molly and Kevin are to each other, how they get together. You're going to see more, though. You're going to see more of their relationship. You're going to see kind of what drove them apart. There's a lot more to that. And so what you've just seen is just a glimpse of the very beginning of who they are.
I'm the heroic one, Orlando, obviously.
Yes. But, it's fair to say that their relationship is based in no small part on our relationship. And in fact, there's even a part of that conversation. And I saw some of the comments coming in while the conversation was going on, and I was wondering what you guys were going to make of this part of the conversation. But there's a part of the conversation that is actually taken from a conversation that we had back in college before we were even married. You don't even remember it, do you?
I do love live streams.
Right? Live streams are great. So the part of the conversation that is actually adapted from a real conversation that we had is the heroic serial killer part.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure. I know, because I wrote it down and I kept it. And
That's
I thought
not
someday
creepy.
I'll use that.
That's so disturbing.
No, I mean, I wrote it down like years later.
Orlando says we're having audio trouble again.
What?
Is that true? Can someone confirm that?
No, it looks like it's okay.
Maybe it's maybe it came
Maybe,
out late.
yeah, it was probably just a late text.
Okay, so in my defense, I took a horrific class in college all about serial killers. So I could see us having a conversation, but I don't remember it.
Well, the conversation, yeah, it got into that like serial killer angle, but what it was really about was we were talking about how people can go from being good to being bad, and how it's actually pretty easy to turn into a bad person. All you have to do is just kind of give in to those impulses that we all have. There's a part of us that wants to kick puppies all the time, as Kevin said in the... Okay, well, I want to kick puppies.
I want to kick kittens.
Kick kittens. No, there's a part of us that wants to do bad things. And if we continually give in to those, then yeah, we're going to become the kind of person that we don't want to be and that we shouldn't be. And so we were talking about how, like, I think we were talking about how in movies in particular, like, it's usually depicted that a good person is like a simple person.
Yeah.
Is somebody who maybe isn't very smart.
Or they're good because they're just good.
Yeah, because they don't really know any better.
They're not working at it. They're not making choices. They're just a good person.
And so what we were talking about was just our frustration with that, and how, being good is a choice. It's a choice that's really hard and that you have to make every single day. And if you don't make that choice, then yeah, you can end up becoming a horrible, horrible version of yourself.
Yeah, quickly.
Very quickly.
And that...
You remember now?
That makes sense to me. Yes, he's not lying. And in part because as I studied serial killers in that horrible class, I had nightmares for a decade.
It shook you.
It was a horrific class, but that was one of the points that the professor kept making, was that like tiny little adjustments to this person's life allowed them to more and more and more find themselves on that path, until all of a sudden they're making horrific choices that you don't jump from A to Z. There are little steps along the way, and the same is true in the reverse.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much it. We got a quick comment here from Judy. She says, "Erin looks like she's been in hair and makeup. Brock, not so much." Okay, but bright pearly whites. I don't know. Probably your teeth. Probably not my teeth. Judy, I had no idea that you were so critical of my appearance.
I love you, Judy.
Is
it Judy or Jody?
Judy.
Judy. You're my favorite.
Yes, Erin is prettier than me. That's fine. I have no problem with that. Always have been. Always will be. I accept it, and it's fine.
Thanks, Jody.
We also got a question: is one of the parallel Kevins in a different world, is one of them a serial killer?
Oh.
Fair to say yes. Will you necessarily see that in the feature film?
Who asked that?
I don't know who asked that.
They went dark.
Moderator sent that to me. When they went dark, I saw that comment come in as we were watching the table read. Some people were like, "Oh, serial killers. This is dark." Yeah, it's a little bit of a dark concept, but obviously it's all in good fun with what they're talking about. And to say that, some of that conversation is thematically on point, I think that would be fair. So does that necessarily mean we're going to see a serial killer? I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't rule it out, but I wouldn't count on it.
Spoiler. Jenna, I hate these AirPods.
Jenna says it's totally cute that you are sharing a pair of AirPods.
It's making me crazy.
Yeah, Erin doesn't like it.
Watch, it'll fall out like 18 times before this is over.
Fits in my ear just fine. But yeah, so at the heart of The Shift is a love story. In the scene that you just saw, that's Kevin and Molly. That's the original Molly and Kevin meeting. And, Satan makes it clear to Kevin in the short film that Molly goes away at a certain point, that he loses her. And so I think it's fair to say that maybe on Kevin's mind, I think as would be on all of our minds, is, well, if the woman that I've known for a little while here is not the real person, then is the real person, is the one that I originally married and met and fell in love with, is she out there somewhere? And maybe there's a way to get back to her. I think it's fair to say that that's very much on Kevin's mind. And you're going to see that play out in the feature film, where he kind of becomes obsessed with this idea of somehow reuniting with the real original Molly. And so in that way, the shift very much becomes like a love story. I mean, what we just saw was very typical of what you'd see maybe in a romantic comedy. Probably not what you're expecting from The Shift, which plays out like a thriller. And the movie largely is a thriller in the way that it's going to play out and tonally. But it always comes back to the love that Molly and Kevin had once, and this idea of, can they get it back? And I think that that's something that we can all kind of identify with.
Well, because in the same way that making the choice to become a serial killer or a heroic serial killer is a matter of small, minute choices, keeping a lasting relationship is about small, minute choices in the right direction. It's all the same thread. Exactly.
And when you stop making the right decisions and going the right way with your relationship, you're not making that effort, that's when things can start to fall apart. All right, we got here, what am I? Let's see. Got some comments I'm missing here from Patton59. If you don't have a bit of rebel in you, something's wrong. I think talking about the heroic serial killer idea.
Yes.
Russell says, I don't want to kick my cat. She is the only thing close to me.
Oh, Russell.
Or I do want to kick my cat. I don't know. I'm not sure which one that is, but either way, don't kick cats.
For the record, I don't kick cats. They just annoy me more
You don't
than
like cats.
puppies do. So if I'm going to have to kick an animal, it would be a cat. That, and if you put your foot in their arm. Anyway.
Judy says, we always have that serpent voice. It's not going to be a big deal to have another drink. Yeah, absolutely. That's what temptation is. Temptation is that voice inside you that says, it's okay, just do this. It's okay. It's okay. And it's not okay. Because one time can lead you to something else. Which isn't to say that even if you're on that path, you can't repent and double back. The gospel of Christ is that we can always repent, we can always double back, we can always do better. But, of course, we want to try to avoid those things in the first place as well. All right. Oh, got another thing coming in here from the moderator. Facebook comment, very nice scene. I'm amazed the actors can relate to each other like that when they're not in the same room. They're very talented. I
think
agree.
that's good writing, too.
I think, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
But they are also very talented, and that helps.
No, for sure.
That
Both
helps.
Nicole and Greg are awesome.
Yeah, it's tricky doing this.
Yeah.
If there weren't for the pandemic, we would have gotten together in a room and done it properly. But
yeah.
I think it worked out okay. Out okay. It helped that I told them which way to look so that it looked like they were looking at each other when I was cutting in between them. That's very important in Zoom.
Yeah. I love the tone of Greg's voice too. He has such a
yes.
So good.
Good voice. All right. Okay, so let's see. Let's check in on where our current investments are at. I was going to share a little bit of our story and how we got together, but I think maybe I'll save that for next week. Maybe we'll have you back.
We'll see.
Maybe we'll watch this again and we'll talk about that, because I think our story is kind of interesting and how we got together. But I want to get to Dan quicker, so we're not going to do that. But I do want to check in real quick on our current investments. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. That needs to be refreshed because that is old news.
Ooh.
Let's see. We are at 292 investors with $100,990 of investment. We're just $10 away from 101,000. So our goal tonight is 120. Very ambitious. Can we get there? I believe that that's possible. We hope that you... Our moderator says, yes, Aaron needs to come back.
No, people are worried about our animals now.
Oh. Judy says, do Brock and Aaron have a pet? Yes, we have 3 dogs and 1 cat. The cat is much beloved by me, not so much by Aaron.
I'm very nice to it, though.
You're not mean to him.
I even pet him when he asks.
You're not mean to him. But yes, we do have a goal tonight. We are looking to get, in the next 10 days, all the way to $1 million. Tonight, we would love to hit 120 on our road to our $200,000 goal for this week. Can we get there? That's the question. I'm going to go over here and check and see if Dan is ready for us. Dan is ready. He is on standby. I see him scrambling because he heard his name.
Heard my name.
He heard his
Let
name.
me in, coach.
So we're gonna turn Dan back on here. I think you just heard him. Let's go over to him.
Hello,
It's time
hello.
for our special musical presentation. Hello, Dan. Welcome to, I'm going to say the show. This isn't a show, but welcome to the live stream.
It feels like a show. I think you
It
could
does
call
a little
it a
bit.
show. It's a show.
I
I
think
mean,
that's fair.
there's entertainment. There have been jokes. There have been sad parts.
That's true.
It's
I mean,
true.
you
People have
talked
actually
about
been entertained.
talked about kicking animals. I feel like at some level, I hope it's a show and it's not reality. No, it's yeah, it's great. I can relate on some level though. I think if I were to pick an animal to kick though,
Ooh,
I would
yes.
think of I would try to think of something maybe a little bit more along the lines of something that if I don't kick it, it will probably kill me or eat me. So maybe like a shark.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't
there
know.
you go. And I hear if you
I would
punch a
kick a
shark
shark.
in the nose, he'll go away. Like
Yes.
that's the way to get rid of a shark.
Right. Yeah. No, you
I
don't
feel
just
like
don't
this
you
is
just
a-
rub their belly? You just rub their belly and they fall asleep.
yes. Brush their teeth. I feel like this is a fun question for the peanut gallery. Like, if you had to kick an animal,
I'd kick an animal.
what
I
animal
feel like
would
this
it
took a
be?
really weird turn.
We're gonna
You
figure out who are
invited
who are the actual sociopaths in the group this way. I think because I think that's actually a telltale sign is the animal
Yes, it's true.
with animals, or maybe not if you're good with animals, because but if you don't like animals enough to hurt them, then it feels problematic.
I think so. So if you're just joining
Yeah,
us, of
and that's
course,
what this next song is about.
this is not a show about kicking animals, but we welcome your input on which animals we should kick if we're forced to do so. We're gonna light up the
I
comments
mean,
with
if
that.
we
one.
don't meet the goal, right? Anything can happen. We're gonna make the film no matter what, right?
No
So
matter what. No matter
Yeah.
what. If we have to hold this thing together with
That
spit and
means-
bailing water, we're gonna.
that
we're
means
gonna do
kicking a shark. Well,
We'll do
who
it.
knows?
So Dan, of course, is the co-composer of the Shift feature film, along with Matt Nelson. Dan was also the co-composer on The Chosen. And in case you don't know, he is also the lead singer and songwriter of a little band called Jars of Clay. And we've invited Dan here tonight to share with us a song, a very meaningful song to me, one of my all-time favorite songs. If it's not my favorite song, maybe it might even be my favorite song. And he's going to share it with us tonight. A special performance just for you. This song, by the way, just as a caveat, it is written into the script of the feature film. It, however, is not a lock for the feature film because Dan is not the only person who decides that. But we are hopeful that we can include it. And so we're gonna hear the song, and then Dan's gonna share some thoughts, and then we'll talk about how it speaks to the film. So Dan, over to you.
Oh my God, look around this place. Fingers reach around the bone. You set the break and set the tone for flights of grace. And future falls, present pain. Awful say, oh my God. Oh my God, why are we so afraid? We make it worse when we don't bleed. There is no cure for our disease. Turn a phrase and rise again. Fake your death and only tell your closest friends. Oh my God. Oh my God, can I complain? You take away my firm belief, graft my soul upon your grief. Weddings, boats, and alibis, I'll drift away. Mother cries. Liars and fools, sons and failures, thieves will always say. Lost and found, healing wanderers, healers always say. Wars and angels, men with problems, leavers always say. Distant fathers, fallen warriors, givers always say. Sometimes I cannot forgive. These days mercy cuts so deep. If the world was how it should be, maybe I could get some sleep. While I lay, I dream we're better. Scales were gone and faces lighter. When we wake, we hate our brother. We still move to hurt each other. Sometimes when I lose my grip, I wonder what to make of heaven. All the times I had to reach up, all the times I had to give up. Babies underneath their beds, in hospitals that cannot treat. All the wounds that money causes, all the comforts of cathedrals, all the cries of thirsty children. This is our inheritance. All the rage of watching mothers, this is our greatest offense. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. There it is.
Wow.
Thanks.
I know you told me earlier that you don't play that live a lot because it sets a certain
Because
mood.
it's hard to follow.
Because it's hard
to
follow.
It is such a yeah. I mean, we tried really hard for years to try to find a way to put it in the show when Jars was touring, and it just kept. It just shuts everything down. Like the audience, nobody quite knows what to do at the very end of that song. It really is. It's like it's kind of song. It ends, and then we really have to just find ourselves, just take a moment, and I think that's really. I mean, I'm really proud of the work that the guys did in the band to create a moment like this, because I know there's not many of them. I think that I've over the years, not many songs that I've come in contact with that after it's finished, I have to just sort of stop and and really think about.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like that. I like that we were able to create that kind of a moment. Yeah.
No, that's really precious and beautiful and rare in pop music. It's
Yeah.
just it's not something you hear a lot. And what I love about that song is that it's not necessarily something you'd hear on the radio, but it is nonetheless it's sticky. Like it's that the melody. It's the kind of song I wish they would play on the radio, because that's the kind of song that is much more attractive to me personally. But I think it is no less sticky than anything you'd hear on the radio. It's
Right.
just it's something it's an attractive listen while being all of these other things that is not what you think of as a pop song. So I think it's just a really complicated piece in that way.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, given where we are in our culture right now, what will start to show up on the radio. Because I really feel like people are, we need really good laments. I think that's part of just looking at the way that we are, just all the various ways that we're struggling, that people are being oppressed, that people are being kind of pushed down. And I think there is just this sense of sadness. That's okay. Like we in essence, there's a lot about this year. I feel like we are grieving, right? We're grieving the loss of so many things. And so there's definitely room for lament. And lament doesn't have to be depression. It just has to be inventory, contemplation of the things that we've lost, and then what are we going to do to either get them back, or to allow them to just kind of to be free. So I think there's, we'll see. Maybe we'll see more songs like that having a chance to get played on a radio. When Jars first came out, our first record, we had a song called Worlds Apart that was a radio single. It was a 7.5 minute radio single, and it which never really happens. And we used to get all these stories from people about that it would come on the radio and they would have to pull over on the side of the road. But not only was it, and maybe that's why they don't do it on the radio, is because it creates a traffic hazard. So they don't do that. But this song, is, I was really excited to see it in the script. I thought that was it's a powerful moment. Knowing what the song is meant to me, we sat around as a band and we decided we were going to try to think through all the different ways somebody would use that phrase. Oh my God. Who are the kind of people that use it, and what is the context for using it? And it is one of those strange phrases that gets used. It has the power for incredible good and incredible evil, just like human beings do, right? We realize that phrase gets used flippantly. It gets used to mock God, to mock other people, to diminish the role of sacred places and sacred things. And but then at the other side of it, it is a phrase that can be so utterly filled with devotion and meaning and purpose for people. And so we wanted to kind of explore that. So we thought, well, let's take the first part of the song and let's write about, just sort of, let's set the stage for what's happening in the world. And when we were writing that song, it was a little bit easier time, I think, maybe. It was, I think, 2009 or 2008 when we were working on that song. I could have the years wrong, but I think that's when it was. And it was just a season when life was sort of moving along. Like, I don't think that people were as aware of what was happening, like internationally. It seemed like Americans were pretty just caught up in a lot of very trivial things. We needed a rescue from our trivia, is really what was happening. And I was riding into the studio. We were going to finish this song, record it, and and we had written the second part, which was kind of taking all of the different reasons why people, different people would use that, liars and sons and failures and thieves and whores and angels and men with problems and war creators and racial haters and pilgrim saints and lonely widows and all these different kinds of people that would use this phrase. And then at the end, we didn't have any words for the end part, which is sort of part 3. It's a song in 3 acts. And in the third act, we didn't have any words, and I had to go in and sing something. And that morning, I had read this little sidebar in a newspaper, and it was talking about these children who were in hospital beds in India, in this hospital, and they were 3 to a bed, and then underneath the bed there were 3 kids underneath, and the only way a kid would move from underneath the bed on a cardboard slab to up in the bed was if one of those children in the bed passed away. And it was an article that was talking about just the inadequate healthcare for these kids in India, and it was this tiny little article, little sidebar, and I thought, on the front cover is something nowhere near as important as that, and I just kept thinking about how upside down our world was, how upside down our priorities were, how little we pay attention to those kinds of stories when they come around, and how much attention we give them because they show up in these little tiny places. And so you really have to look sometimes for where God is actually working, where God is moving in maybe more subtle ways than we think. And that was where I went in, and I was so angry. I was so frustrated. And I sang that last part of the song down in one take.
Wow.
I walked in and I sang it, and that's what showed up on the album, was that one version of that. And it ended up being, okay, the first part is why, what was happening in the world. The second part is what everybody else uses that phrase to accomplish. And then the last part was why I use it. And it has just been one of these songs that has stuck with us and continues to be, that kind of chest cavity kind of lament. It is the groaning of the spirit, I think, that comes out in that song. And so it's a very sacred, personal kind of a song for me. And so I'm really glad that you found something in it that mattered for this story.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. That song was released in 2006. And this is important.
Okay. Yeah.
This is important because our daughter was born in 2005. And it was about
our second daughter.
Our second daughter. And it was about halfway through 2005 that we realized that she wasn't developing in the way that she needed to. And in our family, we were going through some of the darkest times we've ever experienced. And Brock came home one day and sat me down and said, if you listen to this, this is where I'm at. This is what's in my heart.
I don't remember this.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, look at me. He's like, this is everything I can't say right now, but this is where I'm at. And so that song has been deeply personal to our family ever since.
Yeah. No, it is.
So glad.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, it's a great gift. Thank you for sharing that, because it's not a prerequisite that anyone gets to write a song, put something together, and then hear the impact of that. That's not in the rule book. We can make this film, right, Brock? And there's no rule that says people have to tell you that it changed their life, or that it had an impact. And so when you hear it, when I hear it, I know that it's an incredible gift to hear the stories that where the song kind of moves. Music is one of those things that could possibly be one of the only things that actually pierces through the veil from life to death, right? It is the thing that they still talk about that exists in the heavenly realm is music. it's just powerful. That and dogs, I think.
Sorry about that.
See, no one's kicking them.
Yeah, but I think that's a real thing. I think that's a very, I think the way music can attach itself to a story, like it's a special, mysterious kind of thing. So, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we're able to have that song, it's going to be a privilege and an honor to have it, because, what that song accomplishes in 6 minutes is basically what I'm trying to accomplish in 2 hours. So, you and your skill set, you're able to cut to the chase. I don't have that ability, so I gotta take 2 hours out of people's day to get there. But I'll tell you what, it is a song that has meant so much to me, and it's interesting that you mentioned Worlds Apart. Worlds Apart was my favorite Jars song until Oh My God came out, which probably makes a lot of sense. Both of those songs speak so much to, I think, kind of my own worldview and just kind of my own perspective and different points of my life, speaks to different parts of it. I feel like my world has been taken apart so many times, and so that song has always meant so much in that sense. But then with Oh My God, I felt like, everything you're saying makes sense, but of course I'm not in your head until tonight. I haven't been in your head to know what you meant by that song, and so it's only ever been what it's meant to me. And to me, it has spoken so much to yes, what the difficulty is that we are having in this world right now, and then the reminder to go to God. I mean, that's what I have always heard in the song is that yes, it's an offensive phrase, but it is also a lament, and it is also a pleading, to recognize before ourselves, but also before God, to say things are rough here, and I'm calling out to you. I can't handle this by myself, and I need you. And to me, that's what the song is always meant to me personally. And so and so when in looking at the film, and and putting it in the film, and I talked about this before, but like I was so scared for you to read that part of the script, because I just didn't want it to come off as presumptuous. And of course you didn't take it that way at all. You have way too much grace to think of it in that way. But so the fact that you find that it's placed well, it's used well in the film, that's extremely gratifying to me personally, but also makes me very excited for the possibility that we actually could get to use it, because where that film is used, where that song is used within the film, and I'm trying to say this without spoiling anything, but it's
without
used in
giving it all away.
Yeah. But I think I can speak thematically to what's going on in the film at that moment, and why that's such an important piece. And despite the fact that you really get to that end of that song and you can't imagine anything coming afterwards, it's actually not the final like montage of the film or anything like that. There's more film that happens after this song. But what is happening in that moment in the movie is that it's basically the moment where our hero has every force combined against him at once. And at the same moment, he's also experiencing his greatest moment of faith, where he truly believes that his faith is that he is seen by God, and that God is with him at the same moment that all the darkness is combining against him in the most powerful way. And then the story goes from there. But that to me is what that song is. That's what it represents, and that's why it's in the film, because it is going to be such a powerful thing. And in my head, and who the heck knows? I mean, you make a movie 3 times. You write it, you shoot it, and then you edit it. But in my head right now, I see the song. I see that just drowning out everything, every other dialogue. People will be talking, you won't hear them. People will be running, you won't hear their footsteps. You will only hear the song.
Well, that's not a background song.
It's not a background song. No, that is a foreground song. That is not a casual listening song, and it won't be a casual placement.
The lounge version of that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't even imagine what the lounge version would be.
No.
It would be terrible. Yeah. Some songs you don't make light of. Other songs you can. That one might not be one. Yeah.
Well, and even if you don't get it for the movie, to have it tonight was just incredible.
Absolutely, completely incredible.
My pleasure for sure to be able to do that, and and I do think it's just exciting for me. I appreciate just being able to be a part of this beginnings of this whole process of making this film, and getting to add my thumbprint to it later on is going to be very exciting. We've got ideas already brewing, and things that are already stirring, and so,
Awesome.
yeah, so we're excited to get in and just make it something startling and innovative and amazing, and just something that people can watch and love. And I think that's what really matters. And believe, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe it? Yeah, that's ultimately the key. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So everyone else, go out and donate some money and invest.
Invest.
Not a donation.
Yes. Not a donation.
So invest in this film because we want this to get made though, and we want it to get made with the kind of quality that the story deserves, and so this is the season, this is the time. So
absolutely,
be a part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Wonderful.
Dan, appreciate you, and gosh, thank you. I look forward to revisiting that performance, if you don't mind, more than once. I just thought it was beautiful. Your rendition tonight was incredible.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we'll let you go. And
all right.
I think I sent you an email today. Be sure and check that out.
I saw that. I'm looking forward to it. Yep.
All right. Cool.
Yep. All right.
All right.
See y'all
later. Thank you. Okay. There we go. And let's go back over here. Sorry, you can't see us.
There we
are. Now we're back. All right. Hold on a second here. I got to do a little bit of maintenance. Making sure that... Do
you want me to read who invested?
Yes, why don't you do that while I'm doing this? Thank you.
That's Is it Jancy? I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong. Jancy in Texas partnered with us for $100. Thank you, Jancy. And then Linda in Florida for $1,000. So thank you to both ladies from Texas and Florida.
Yes, awesome. Really appreciate that. We got a comment from the Unknown Chef from YouTube. She says, sounds like when our granddaughter passed away, talking about our story. My deepest darkness surrounded by the greatest light. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And Unknown Chef, your name is awesome.
Yes. Judy says, when only songs can fully express your feelings is why heaven is full of angels singing 24/7. Holy, holy, holy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes a song is the only thing that can get it through. See, Judy also says, make Brock promise the shift ending will be a great payoff, as Dallas says. So let's talk about that. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but obviously one of the things that's most important is you want to make an ending that really just leaves people feeling very, very satisfied and that their time was worth it. We have all seen way too many films that did not quite do that. I'm very happy to say that I believe that the shift is going to accomplish that goal. Those that have read the script, like Dan and Matt, they read the script before they signed on. They felt very satisfied with the ending. Now that doesn't mean that everybody's going to walk away happy, because I'm never really satisfied by totally happy endings. But I do believe that there is a happy ending, and it's a satisfying ending. It's an ending that doesn't cheat, that plays fair, and so I think you can look forward to that. Question: is there a way to back you from Canada? Only U.S. shows on the forum. Yeah. So unfortunately, no. The only investments we can accept. You
said that a little Canadian.
Did I?
No.
I've only been to Canada once. I'm from California. I don't know why that slipped out. No, we cannot accept any investments outside of the United States. Unfortunately, we can only accept U.S. investments, and there's a variety of reasons for that. But yeah, I'm very sorry. We wish we could partner with you. We really do. Cross the border, get some citizenship. And,
oh gosh.
No, I'm kidding. but yeah, that's the way that works. And the way that the investment works in general, just for those of you that are just joining us and are maybe curious, it is not a donation. It is an investment. And when you invest in this film, the return that you can make, if the movie makes money, is that you will make 120% return on your investment before we, the creators, get anything at all. So those of you that are investing right now and for the next 10 days, you are what is called first money in. First money in means you are first money out. So there is a real incentive. If you're thinking this is an important film, I need to see it made, there's a real incentive to invest tonight. Not only are we going to shout you out, but you are going to be somebody who is going to make the first money to be made off of this movie if it makes a profit. So that's pretty cool. I'm an investor in The Chosen. Maybe you are too, and maybe you think this is important too. That would be really cool if you came and invested with us, because this film is important. I believe it's important. I wouldn't be making it. The people that are on it feel like it's important. Dallas Jenkins feels like it's important. We're going to hear from him a little bit later tonight in a video.
I feel like we should give away tote bags.
Give away tote bags. Yeah, this does sound a little bit like a PBS
yes, like
drive.
if you invest at this level, you get a tote bag.
But it's not that.
But they get some. There are good things that come, right?
Yeah, there are perks. There are perks to be had. So investors.
It's not a tote bag.
It's not a tote bag. It's not as good as a tote bag, but there are certain perks that you can get as an investor at certain levels. For example, you could become an extra on the film. Come and join us and hang out with us.
I get to be an extra on the film, right?
You can be an extra. Of course you can.
That's happening.
You could also come to set and let's have a meal together, me and you. Maybe even Erin will show up. I bet I can convince her. You could also get an early look at the script. How'd you like to read the script before the movie even comes out? That is one of the perks. Would you like to be an associate producer, an executive producer? Our higher level perks will get you that credit on the film. Imagine having your name as an executive producer.
That's cool.
Right there with Dallas Jenkins in the credits. That's pretty dang cool. And that can happen with some of our perks. So there are other perks too. I'm not thinking of them at the moment, but they're there.
There should be tote bags.
There should be tote bags. All right, so let's check in on our goal. Let's see where we're at right now. We do have a goal of $120,000 for tonight. It's an ambitious goal. This is a film, of course, that has Dallas as an executive producer, that has Dan Haseltine and Matt Nelson as composers. Our current status is 294 investors with $102,090 in investment. We've seen some nice investments. I love it when it's like not even like that. When it's not, that's
and $92.13.
I know. Somebody said, I'm going to short them $10.
Not short them. Give them more.
Yeah, give us an extra whatever.
I love
That's the other way of looking at it.
I think it's fabulous.
So let's see, Judy would like to know, what if a perk was getting to slap Satan? I don't think our insurance is going to cover that one. So we're going to have to take a pass on that. Sorry.
Like actor Satan?
Yeah, I guess. I'm sure that whoever the actor is that plays Satan will be a very nice person. We don't want to slap him.
Travis would have let you.
Travis probably would have let
He totally would have let you.
Travis seems like he'd be up for that. But.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so tonight, our third thing that we want to present to you tonight. There's more. I know. This is a jam-packed live stream. We are bringing the goods tonight.
Man.
So we've seen, if in case you're just joining us, we've seen a live table read of a scene from the feature film. You can watch that later after this is done. We've also just seen a live performance from Dan Haseltine of the song "Oh My God." It was incredibly moving. I got teary. I know that a lot of you did too. That song we are planning on having featured in a major set piece in the feature film. That's pending the band's approval. We have Dan's approval. He'll also be composing the music, so Dan's on board. So we're hoping that the band will be kind to us, and thankfully we have a really good advocate, good connection to the band. But yeah, and so the third thing that we want to share with you tonight is a very special video that is going to be debuting on our Facebook page right after this live stream is over. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to have to jam it in there as quick as I can. But
make sure the children haven't burned the house
down.
Yeah,
you go check the children. I'm going to be getting this video up on so Facebook so that everybody can share. Now, this video is genuinely, it was a very difficult video for me to put together. It actually came at a suggestion from Dallas. Dallas was the one who prompted me to make this video. One of the reasons that Dallas and I are working together is because of some chapters from a book that I wrote that's coming out in a couple of weeks. And I'm not really here to plug the book. It's not what I'm doing. We're here about the movie. But
it's exciting.
But it's background on what you're about to see. The book is called The Other Side of Fear, in case anybody actually is like, oh my gosh, I want to hear more from that guy. 2 hours just isn't enough. It's called The Other Side of Fear, and it's about my father, and it's about growing up. It's about the violence that my father suffered. And I'm going to tell the story in the video, so I'm not going to tell it to you now. But the reason that this story is so important, the reason that I made a video and the reason that Dallas wanted me to share this story with you in this format is because it really speaks to so much of why I made the shift, of why the shift is the way that it is. One of the criticisms that I get of the shift, and believe me, people are very quick to be critical. We haven't gotten chosen levels of hate, but I'm sure one day we'll get there. Is you know, there is darkness in the shift. I've had people say, "Oh, I only got 5 minutes in and I had to shut it off. I had to go read my Bible." Like, I got a comment like that just the other day. Voice cracked. I'm 12. Yes, the shift is dark, but it's dark for a reason. And one of the reasons is because I've experienced darkness in my life. I've experienced it on multiple occasions, and so have you probably. And it's through that darkness that really wonderful things can happen. That sounds weird, but it's so true. And so Dallas encouraged me to make a video that really speaks to that, to why the shift is the way that it is, and what in my life kind of really inspired it. So this video that I'm going to show you right now is called, if I can remember the title correctly, Seeing the Light Through the Darkness. And that's what this is about. So I'm going to share that with you now. It will be available on our Facebook page very soon after. Okay, here we are with... that's the wrong thing. Here we go. Be available very soon after this live stream is over. Here we go. To be honest with you, they were pretty faithless prayers. I didn't think that they were going to do any good, but I didn't know what else to do. And gosh, this is hard to do this in front of this. Hey everybody, Brock Heasley, the writer and director of The Shift here, and I'm out here on the outskirts of Fresno, California, the city where we shot The Shift, surrounded by smoke. I don't know if you can tell, but there's no sky, that's just all smoke. There's fire in the foothills. All of California is on fire right now. My car is right there. It's covered in ash when I got into it this morning. And why am I out here? Why am I out here in front of this empty dirt field with all this traffic raging behind me? I'm out here because I want to talk about darkness. I want to talk about why the shift is the way that it is. I've been blessed, and I say blessed specifically, to have dark times in my life. And those dark times have given me perspective on God and perspective on life. And it has helped me to see his love and to see his light shine. My father was packing up for the night 3 days before my 12th birthday. This was years ago. 2 men burst in with semi-automatic submachine guns and immediately began firing. The first bullets went right towards him, hit him in the stomach, and he fell to the ground. The next bullets went into the cases, the display cases where all the guns were kept. And as soon as the glass broke, they began quickly gathering the guns into a bag. And then they kept shooting my father as he was lying there on the ground. They didn't want any witnesses. And they made sure of that, shooting him over and over and over again, up and down his body. And then they left. And as you can see where I am right now, there's not a whole lot here. A couple of farmhouses, a highway road that's a lot more active than it was back then. And he was alone, and there was nobody coming. He was shot 13 times. I honestly don't know anybody else who's ever been shot that many times. But he was shot that many times, and he was on the ground, and he had a decision to make about what he was going to do, and whether or not he was going to get up and call 911 or give in to the pain and die. To my father's credit, he got up. He climbed his way to the phone that was hanging on the wall, picked up the receiver, and laid back down. Accidentally, he dialed 411 at first. And so with his legs riddled with bullets, he had to get back up again and redial 911. And he did. And the paramedics eventually got to him, but they had to wait outside for the police to come and secure the scene. And as they were waiting, he was talking to the EMT, a frustrated EMT, who was just trying to get my dad to hang on long enough so the paramedics could come in and save his life. But my dad did not believe that he was going to be living much longer, and so he pled with the man on the phone to call my mom and to tell her that he loved her, and to also give a message to his sons, myself and my brothers, that he loved us too and that we should be good. That was his last message to us. Or it was what he thought it was his last message. As it turned out, my father did live that night. The paramedics were able to save his life. They brought him to the hospital. He was in very bad shape, and he was in the ICU for a week. But 3 weeks after the shooting, he did come home. He could only get around in a wheelchair at first, and then eventually a walker. And then by the end of the year, he was running and playing with us. And the thing that sticks out the most to me about my dad and about how he dealt with that trauma was that he never really was traumatized from it at all, nor did he harbor any bitterness or ill feelings. He had this joke that he would tell. He would talk about the guys that did it, the guys who shot him, and how he just wanted 5 minutes alone in a room with them. Just 5 minutes alone. And it was like a joke he would tell. I knew my dad would never do anything. He never spoke of them otherwise. It didn't change his outlook. It didn't change who he was. It didn't change his willingness to help and to serve others. He was a guy who knew that bad things happened in this world, and then he moved on and tried to learn what he could from them. 8 years later, I get a phone call from my grandfather. I'm serving as a missionary at this time. I'm in Arizona. I haven't seen my dad in 10 months. I get a phone call from my grandpa, and he tells me that it's happened again. 2 men burst into the store that was right here and shot my father. And I knew immediately he was dead. In a way that I didn't know when I was younger. When I was younger, I believed that he would live. But I knew instantly when Grandpa told me that Dad had been shot that was it for him. But I kept hope anyway. And I prayed over the next hour. And to be honest with you, they were pretty faithless prayers. I didn't think that they were going to do any good, but I didn't know what else to do. And gosh, this is hard to do this in front of this. Then my mom called me, and she told me that Dad had died. And I hung up the phone, and I went into my room, and I took off my tie, and I hung it on the rack, and I looked down at my feet, and I squared them up with the closet. I remember that specifically doing that action. And I think it was just a sense of wanting to do something that I had some control over. Wanting to do something that was precise and right. And in that moment, squaring up my feet was that thing, just making them square and perpendicular to the closet. And then I started thinking about the men who had done this, who had killed him. I didn't know them. I didn't know their names. I didn't know their faces. But I started thinking about them, and I got so angry. I was so mad at them because there were 2 men that did this. There was somebody responsible. God didn't do this. 2 men did it. God allowed it to happen. Why, I didn't know. But 2 men had done it. And in that moment, I felt so angry at them. Such frustration. And then almost immediately the feeling left. It was gone completely. And it was replaced by a peace. A peace that my father was okay. I knew who he was. I knew he was a faithful man. I was pretty confident about where he was. But my thoughts turned again to those men. And I thought about what they had done. And I realized that there was a greater tragedy that had happened that night besides the death of my father. And the greater tragedy was what those 2 men had done to themselves. Physical death is one thing, but the spiritual death that takes place when somebody sins, and a sin of the magnitude that they committed that night, that is the kind of pain that is far greater than any physical pain that we can possibly encounter. I doubt very much that those men realized that night the magnitude of what they had done or the loss that they had experienced in their soul. But the thing that I did know was that one day they would understand that. One day they would know what they had done, whether in this life or the next. They would be confronted with what they had done. And that would be a very bitter day indeed. And in thinking about that, my anger was replaced with empathy, with sympathy, and even with love. In that moment, I loved the men who killed my father. And I don't say that flippantly. It was a very real thing, and it was so real that it hasn't stopped. I have never, since that night, felt a moment of bitterness or anger. I was blessed with a perspective on what happened that night that has remained with me ever since. And the thing is that I wouldn't have that understanding. I wouldn't have seen that light. God's light shined so bright that night, and it has continued to shine brighter in my life ever since that night. Brighter than it ever did before. And that wouldn't have happened without passing through that kind of darkness. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't take my father back in an instant if that were possible and erase that whole thing. But I can't deny the benefit that it was to me and the way that it has helped me and changed me as a person and made me into so much of what I am now. I'm still growing, but I know that I am so much more than I would have been because of what I passed through and what my family passed through that night. That's why I'm making this film. Those are the stories I want to tell. We are having a very real experience here on Earth. We are passing through trial. There is fire in the foothills. The world is on fire. And the world is also good and great and wonderful. Suffering is awful and terrible, but it is also a glorious thing. And the reason that I am making this film is because I want to talk about that directly. If you've seen the short film, then you know a little bit, but you don't know the half of what we're doing with this thing. Kevin's journey, the story of the shift, is about a man passing through incredible, unbelievable, oppressing darkness. But we're going to tell it in a way. We're going to tell that story in a way that is going to bring light. If you think about the times in your life when you've experienced trial, maybe it's not like my story, but you've got your own story. You've passed through something that was difficult, that was hard, that you didn't want to be at all, and you were better for it. I believe that's an important message to bring to people, to show them that even in the worst suffering, even in the worst kind of difficulty, that God is still there. And if we are faithful, he will show us his light. When I come here, that's what I think of. I think of, yes, this is where my father died, but I also think of the greatest blessings that have ever come to me in my life, the greatest light and knowledge. It's the struggle that allows light and hope to be made manifest. And that's all I really wanted to say on this. Beyond the calls for investment and the money we need to make this film and how we're not going to be able to do it if we don't, I hope you understand that it's coming from a very real place. I believe that there's an important message to share with people, that there is a hope that can be had even in the darkest of times. If that is something that you think is important, if you think that that's something that needs to go out there and be shared with people, I hope you'll join us in telling this story and partnering with us. Thanks very much. All right, so that was admittedly a difficult video to put together and to now put out there, which we will do right after this stream is concluded. That is a story that is unusual. I realize, most people don't get in one-armed robbery, much less two. But that was the kind of person that was the kind of thing my dad passed through. That was something that obviously had a great effect on our family, and it is directly influential of what the shift is. Those of you that are already our investors, I hope that video can be a tool for you in sharing with your friends and letting them kind of know where my heart is. I think when you watch the shift, and I think the only value really in knowing my heart, it's something that people have told me, is that they kind of understand where the shift is coming from and what it's about. And so that's really why I wanted to make that video, was just to have something that kind of really represents and kind of puts it out there beyond the film itself. Like, this is my intent. This is what I am trying to do. And so in a way that's even greater than the short film. The feature film is going to take that theme of darkness and light and blow it up in an incredibly expansive way. I think that there are some powerful stories that we are not telling in Christian media that we should be telling, and I want to be part of that. Just had an investment come in. Bruce and Lisa in Texas just partnered with us for $500. Bruce and Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We so appreciate each and every single one of our investors and those also who can't invest and who are helping us spread the word. It does not look like we're going to hit $120,000 tonight.
Well, not in the next few minutes.
Not in the next few minutes.
Tonight is possible.
Tonight is possible, and that's the thing. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
We do often see that after these live streams are concluded, people, then go to the site and begin investing. So that is still possible tonight. We hope to see it. We hope to see in the next several days a lot of investment come in. So don't be discouraged if you're looking at the number like we are and you're thinking, wow, we're not even going to get close to 120. That doesn't.
Just you wait.
Just you wait. That doesn't mean we're down. It doesn't mean we're out. We have a lot more still to do, and that could be done tonight by others who are waiting for us to shut up basically before they jump over to another site and do other things. All right. So we have a little bit of time here. Our dogs are scratching out the door, but we're gonna. I know they're relentless.
They're relentless.
Okay. So it's a word I like.
Are they at your heels?
They're not at my heels currently. So
do they want coffee?
They might want coffee. So I'm gonna what I want to do is I want to show you. I talked about Dallas a little bit. I talked about how he inspired the video that you just watched. But of course, Dallas also made a video talking about the shift and talking about why he's joined up with it. And I want to watch that real fast. I think it's always good to get a reminder of that Dallas Jenkins is on this film. He is an executive producer on it. Dallas Jenkins, of course, is the creator of The Chosen. And then when we come back from that, if you have any questions for us, shoot them in the comments and we'll answer them before we wrap up tonight. Let's check out Dallas.
Hey there, I'm Dallas Jenkins. I'm the creator of The Chosen, and I wanted to share with you a little bit of why I have actually signed on to be one of the executive producers of The Shift. I remember when I first saw the short film, The Shift, it was probably a couple years ago, and I remember thinking to myself, I don't know who this person is who made this, and I had heard that they did it for no money, but I'm really impressed, and I believe that this guy has a future, and I wanted to see more. I wanted to see where The Shift turned out. I wanted to see how it could be expanded upon. I wanted to see what Brock could do with an actual budget. So The Shift now has a relatively small budget. They're really keeping the budget low, and that's one of the things I'm trying to do is help them maximize the budget that they do have and making sure that every penny that we spend is spent in the best and most efficient way possible, which is one of the things that I hope, if you've seen The Chosen, you've realized we did there too, was we didn't have Hollywood money, but we had enough to make something special. And I think that's what Brock has now. I think he's going to get, and I hope you can help him get enough to make something special. And I think the message of The Shift and the future of The Shift is so important. And almost as important as any of that is Brock Heasley. He didn't ask me to say this, I promise. But I can tell you, I've seen his work on a writing side. I've seen it on the directing side. And in my 20 years in the business, there are very few people who I've thought, I want to pour into this person because I think that this person has the chance to be an impactful and disruptive and important storyteller in this business. And that is Brock. Brock is someone who, when I read what he's writing, I'm connected to it. And I want to see more. And I want to be part of it. And it reaches me on both an intellectual level and an emotional level. And if you've seen The Chosen, maybe that's what you've appreciated about it as well, is that it's not just pure emotion. It's emotion that has some thought behind it, but it's also not pure intellect. It's intellect that has some heart behind it. And all of that is, there's kind of an umbrella over all of it of a spiritual importance. Something is being said about our universe and who created it.
You are nothing. That I may be nothing. Tomorrow. I am greater than God. Jesus Christ.
And that's what The Shift is about. That's what The Chosen is about. It's one of the reasons why I've signed on board. And I hope you can get involved as well to be part of the beginning of what I believe is an important project and who I believe is an important filmmaker.
Hey, this is Brock. I hope you'll partner with us by backing the project at studios.vidangel.com/theshift. We only have until September 30th to get our full funding, and we can't do it without you. All right, that was Dallas talking about why he has signed on with the Shift. We're so grateful to him for cutting that video. There is a rumor, I don't know where it came from, that Dallas might be joining us for a live stream next week.
I know where it came from.
You know where it came from?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd it come from?
You.
Okay. Maybe I started that rumor. Is it true? Is it not? I mean, I started the rumor. You draw your own conclusions. But hopefully people can hear us. If I screwed it up again, no, I haven't. People can hear us. That's good. So we are coming to a close here with our evening. If any of you have some last minute questions for us, whether on YouTube or on Facebook, we encourage you to shoot them our way to our moderator. He'll get them to me as quick as he can. Just to recap, we have seen $2,000 or $3,000 in investment. We did not quite hit our goal, but we know that a lot of people, after these live streams, they run over to the website, and that website is in the comments. You can click on it. It's studios.vidangel.com/theshift, and you can invest in this film, become partners with us, jump on this crazy train that has begun of a different kind of Christian media. The Chosen started it. We're hoping to continue and be part of what is going on right now. You, as an investor, you'll be able to say that you were there on the beginning. You helped make that happen. There is a need for better stories, better writing, better acting, better all of that stuff. And we hope to be a part of that. And we think that the Shift can be a part of that and should be part of that conversation. We've talked tonight about why the Shift is important. You heard a song that is so precious to me, so important to me, called Oh My God, performed live by Dan Haseltine. If you're coming in late, after we're done, rewind. Go check that song out. If you don't hear anything else, at least check out that song. It's absolutely hauntingly gorgeous. We also shared with you I keep saying live, I don't know why, because we pre-recorded it, but you got to see a scene from the feature film, and you got to see it performed by actors at a table read, and that was really fun. We got to see kind of how Kevin and Molly meet and how their relationship begins. We do have a question here from Unknown Chef, your favorite.
Such a good name.
After the prayer, did Satan get shifted? So Satan does disappear. Did he get shifted? I think shifted would be one way to term it. I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say also that it was not of his own volition. So yes, I think it's fair to say that Satan was shifted at the end there.
I know. John and Judy both want the Kevin will have a coffee shirt.
Yeah, we keep getting calls for Kevin will have a coffee shirts.
You fund the movie. John and Judy, I'll make that happen.
Oh wow, that's a personal guarantee from Aaron right
I'll make
there.
that happen. I will take care of you. It will say on the back, good, right?
Kevin will have a coffee of all the lines.
I love it, and
of all the lines.
I
blame you. You know this, don't you?
No, I feel like the shifty people get me. I feel like they understand me.
Aaron, we're all trusting you to make sure Kevin will have a coffee shirts are a thing once the merch gets green.
Done. You all fund the movie. I'll do the shirts. I used to work at a t-shirt company. I know how to do this.
You actually do know how to get this done.
I do. I will get it done.
There you go. All right. Just a reminder, you can invest. We talked about that. If you can't invest, there's lots of things you can do. And even if you do invest, we want you to do this too. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Shift Film. Share the Shift Film YouTube link with your friends. Like us on Facebook. Comment, like, and engage. When you see our posts, if they come up on your feed, comment on them, engage with them. The way Facebook works is they are very stingy about showing our posts to people if they don't see engagement happening. We know that several of you are great about that. Every time we post something, you're in there with the comments and you're leaving us, 2 or 3 sentences. That's fantastic. When Facebook sees that, then they know, okay, this is a post we need to show to people. So when you see our posts, please do that. The more people do that, the more our posts will get out there, and the closer that we'll be able to get to our eventual goal. We only have 10 days. 10 days! And we've got to get to $1 million in 10 days. That's a huge thing. The only thing that's going to get us there is a miracle. We believe in miracles. And we also believe in you. We believe that people want to see this film. We believe that this can happen. Mm-hmm. So we pray that you will come with us and join with us. And if all you've got are prayers to add to the pile, then that is great too. We hope that you will pray with us. I know I'm praying every single night that the right people will see this film, come in and invest. We're so grateful to those of you that already have.
Yes. And Judy's one of them. Judy, I see you.
Question: will any part of the film be from Molly's point of view?
It should be.
It will not. It will not. Sorry, the film is basically entirely from Kevin's point of view. He's in essentially every single scene. So we are not going to get Molly's point of view. I'm sorry. That would be an interesting story to tell.
It would be.
That said, she's a very prominent character from the beginning to the end. Despite the fact that her and Kevin are separated, she is a very, very important part of the film. And you will see a lot more from her, and you're gonna see her call Kevin out a bit. Judy says, "What happens if we don't make it by the 30th? What happens if we don't get $1 million by the 30th?" Well,
Brock is gonna cry. No, I'm kidding.
So there are a couple of different possibilities, and one of those possibilities also speaks to the question that David just asked us. He said, "Can investments be made after the 30th?" So that's a good question. So let's talk about that. So, we are trying to exercise our faith here. The 30th is our goal. We've said that from the very beginning. And the exercise of faith that I have is that I'm putting all of my energy into that. That said, we also know that we want to be prepared for any eventuality. So there's a couple of different things that we can do. First of all, any money that we get as an investment before the 30th is an investment in the film. Period. Your investment is solid. You are first money in. Everything that is in the documents about what it is you're getting into and how that all works, all of that is 100% valid whether or not we reach our goal or not. So you can invest with confidence in that sense. One of the things that's very helpful is that the more money that we have at the end of this thing, the more attractive this film then becomes to equity investment. So equity investment are those people who are accredited. I can say words. Thank you.
Accredited.
Investors. These are people who they have a lot more money than you and I do. But
it's what they do.
It's what they do. They can come in and they can fund this thing. Now, we're trying to not do it that way. We're trying to do it outside of that system and do it with you. But in the eventuality or the possibility that doesn't happen, we are not able to fund it by the 30th. That is something that we can look to. The other thing that we're exploring is having the offering extend past the 30th. And that's a possibility, and we'll see. We're not as sure about that and what's going to happen with that, but that is something that we are considering. If we do that, it'll look very different than it does now. But the thing of it is that this film is going to be a lot better off if we can film this by the 30th. We want to get this going soon, and also past the 30th there aren't any guarantees. We can make plans. We can do what we can to try to keep the ball going. But getting there by the 30th is what we have always said we want to do, is what we are trying to do. It is what the goal is. Why did you take my phone?
Because a funny question came in.
Okay. Really? What happens if... I don't know who this question... From the moderator.
From Brad.
You just outed him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Brad.
He did it again. What if nobody heard his name the first time clearly?
It. They're listening.
No, they didn't.
Yes,
Maybe the
did.
translator won't get a great job.
I'm sorry. Is he like Batman? Can he not be known?
Okay. Before I get to this question, I just want to sum up what I just said. This is the answer to the question. What happens after the 30th? It's like this. If you want to make sure that you have an opportunity to invest,
yes,
now is the time. There is no guarantee that there's going to be a funding round. There's no guarantee of how we're going to keep the ball going after this. So if you want to be an investor, if you want to get on board with this and partner with us and be part of this whole process, and believe me, it's going to be amazing once we have the funding and we're able to get going. It's got to happen now. It's got to happen right now. So That's what I can say for sure, is that there's no guarantees of what your potential involvement could be after the 30th.
That's the definitive answer for you.
That's the definitive answer. So now's the time to get on board.
Okay, seriously,
Okay, so-
is our moderator Batman? Can we not know his name?
Well, we don't out people like that.
That's weird.
He's known as a moderator. It's his decision whether or not to out himself, not our decision.
Okay.
You don't have that power. You shouldn't have that power.
I do.
Hey,
have
we
that
just
power.
had an investment. We're going to get off this subject entirely. We just had an investment come in from MJ in California.
Thanks, MJ.
She just partnered with us for $200.
Do you
MJ.
think it's Michael Jackson?
I think it's Mary Jane, as in Spider-Man's wife. But no,
Yes.
I don't know who MJ is.
Who's outing people now?
Who's outing people now? Oh, no.
Answer the question.
The cover is blown. I'm going to get to the question. Thank you, MJ. We love your name.
Yes, we do.
Okay, the question...
Whoever you are.
Whoever you are. The question is what happens if two Brocks are in the same dimension at the same time? Does good Brock have to hide from evil Brocks? Will the will the universe explode if they see each other? Okay, so the definitive answer to that question is there are no evil Brocks. There are only good Brocks. Throughout the entire known multiverse, I am only ever a good guy.
What?
Okay, you're not buying it. Nobody's going to buy that.
That's garbage. And the answer to moderator is yes, they have to hide from each other. Absolutely.
Or the universe will explode.
Yes.
They can't come into contact.
I would lose my mind.
Yes. Their vibrational frequency is different.
Yes.
And if
Although,
they come together,
if you ever catch Brock first thing in the morning, you'll see both evil Brock and good Brock at the same time.
that is true. I'm not a morning person. I don't do too well in the morning. So that's me outing myself. That's one of my faults.
Yes.
In fact, I once had a friend in 6th grade. He woke me up during our 6th grade camp. Woke me up early. Was like tickling me. And I got so angry, I jumped out of the bed, I pinned him to the floor, and I just started wailing on him. This was my best friend.
Yeah.
I'm better than that now, though.
The moderator wants to ask the same question about Kevin.
Same question about Kevin. So let's just say Kevin will not get he'll get the opportunity.
Ah.
I have already revealed that before. That's not a secret. Two Kevins will meet each other in the film. It's not a huge spoiler. But would the universe explode? In the context of the film, not really. We're not going there. We're not going there. Jenna says, I'm going to say it, we need Aaron in all live streams. Yeah, you have a fan in Jenna.
Thanks, Jenna. Thanks, Jenna. See, and John's my buddy, too. He said Brad outed himself earlier.
If you stop talking about it, the topic will go
He's
away.
not Batman. I don't understand the shroud of secrecy. I'm so confused.
I'm trying to be respectful of our moderator
I'm
because
so
he does
confused.
such good things for us.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay. I'm just going to stop talking about it. Orlando says no more spoilers. We're spoiling hardly anything. Orlando, of course, is the producer on the shift, and he knows very well that there is so much more to this film than what the little tidbits that we've revealed to you.
Orlando's the best, and we can apparently say his name.
Yes, well, Orlando. Yes, he's been on the live stream.
Yay,
People know
Orlando.
who Orlando is.
Yeah.
Orlando's coming back, by the way. We're already making plans for that.
Yay. He might be.
Moderator says he might be Batman. Speaking of himself, so
Well, then.
There you go.
More spoilers.
All right. So this live stream is coming to a conclusion. Once it is over, after a few minutes, it will be available for sharing. Still, we see that 60 of you, by our current count, have shared this stream. We so appreciate that. These streams do have a life after it's concluded. People are able to come back and revisit it. So we hope that you'll do that. The link, again, to investment, it's in the comments. We'll have the moderator post it again. You can go to studios.vidangel.com/the shift. I'm told I'm supposed to have a jingle for that. That's what Dallas has done to get people to remember. I am not musically inclined in the way that he is. I should not. So maybe our more musically inclined people would be willing to make a jingle and of studios.vidangel.com/the shift. To tell you what, you make a jingle, you send that to me, and I will play it on the next live stream for
that's
people,
exciting.
so that I don't have to do that and you aren't all victimized by these pipes.
That would be
these
a shame.
rusty, rotten, terrible pipes.
And
that I
just
have.
remember, we get full investment. We're gonna have Kevin will have coffee.
That's
shirts.
true. That's a promise. That's a promise. I think you have to hold to that now.
I plan on it.
All right. thank you very much for joining us tonight. This was really special. I'm very excited to see what the next days are going to bring. We are planning another live stream for this Friday at, I believe, 6 p.m. Pacific time, our time, so same time as it was tonight. And there's some other things happening as well. We're excited to tell you about that. I don't have a lot of details yet on what that next live stream is going to be. We're still kind of working out some of the kinks. But I can tell you that next week...
With Batman?
When we're with Batman. Next week, when we're in our final 3 days of investment. That's going to be a hectic time. We're very much looking forward to joining you again, and we're going to have lots of guests. I believe the rumor was that Dallas could be joining us at some point.
That you started.
That I started. Might be more than a rumor. But we're also looking at having some other people on. Some people you've seen before are going to come back. And maybe, just maybe, we could be looking at another table read, revealing another scene from the feature film. Maybe something that happens after the diner.
Oh.
After the diner,
Ooh.
right? Something that... How could something be shared from after the diner and not be too spoilery? I found a way to make it happen. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Thank you again for being with us tonight. Now, go jump over to the site, studios.vidangel.com/theshift. We are looking forward to partnering with you. Aaron, you have anything else you want to say at the end here?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.